back to the next segment, Chetna,
Sure.
I think what I heard and what I came to know about your wonderful work is that you also use very effectively this one for corporate training, right?
Yes.
For some things like team building, conflict management. And can you take us through any one segment, maybe it's team building or conflict management, or leadership, change management, or self-image management, whatever you or expression or impression management, whatever you call it. So can you take us through, for the sake of audience, one concept, and then can you help us, maybe if you can enact one of them, nothing like it.
Yes, sure. So let's talk about group dynamics.
Right.
I think it exists everywhere.
Absolutely.
It exists with families, within families. It exists in households, in offices,
Right.
with schools.
Absolutely.
So I normally call it as team bonding than building.
Oh yeah, very well put.
Yeah, so
Very
building
well
is more brick and mortar. Bonding is more emotional and
Right.
inclusive. So if I were to demonstrate a small piece.
Please.
Okay, so we'll talk about team bonding as I just mentioned, and there's an activity in drama space which we call as magnet structure.
Right.
So in magnet structure we talk about the instructions which we are in various teams.
Right.
And teams of 5, and the facilitator gives you a time limit, 30 seconds, and for those 30 seconds you all within the team become magnets, like positive and negative. So you have to be with each
Or
other,
bond
sometimes
together.
not
Right.
be with
Right.
each other, so you have to
Right.
explore those dynamics.
Right.
And also you have to create structures,
Right.
so it's magnet structures.
Oh, okay.
Now for example, if I was
So
to
it
give
requires
you,
at least about 10-15 people.
yes, so it requires yes, at least 10.
10 people.
So we have like 4 and
Yeah,
4 and
okay.
3. So if I, let's say if I give you 30 seconds and I tell a team, in 30 seconds you become the structure of a kitchen in the room, in a house.
Right.
So maybe like if you and I are on the team,
Right, that's
so
right.
I might become the fridge.
Right. Right.
And you have to choose something.
I become an oven.
Oven, so we're like
Okay.
fridge and you're the oven, so you have
Right.
to move. There's something.
Oh, okay.
Oven, you have kept
So-
something in the oven.
so-
the tray moves.
Okay. Active
Yeah, and I'm like freezing.
body. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So somebody like another team member might become a spoon stand.
Right.
And so now typically what happens, we've observed in such members in such games, everybody will like say, I'll be the fridge.
Right.
I'll be the fridge. Okay. So then you have to sort that immediately in 30 seconds. You have
Right.
to give in.
Okay.
Okay, take care. You become the oven, I become the fridge. But next
Right.
round, take
Yeah.
care of me. Yeah. So
Fair enough.
it is working on a lot of levels.
Right, right.
One is of course your imagination. One is team understanding.
Right.
Third is giving in and
Connectiveness.
acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe a funny one like that I do with children is Kapil Sharma comedy show.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
So somebody becomes a dadi, somebody
Okay.
becomes a Kapil Sharma.
Right.
With corporates, what we do is we take it to another level. We talk about how do you freeze in a frame wherein you've witnessed or been you have had an experience of any conflict happening.
Right.
So you freeze in those frames. So
Right.
somebody might be, I'm your boss, and I'm like, what is this? And you might be saying, this is what it is.
Right.
The other one are bystanders.
Okay.
The
Right.
other one is some peon getting
Right.
water glass and just saying,
Okay.
can I come later?
Right.
So you're freezing in frames.
Okay.
And then the second layer is I tap on your shoulder and say, how are you feeling right now? So you only talk.
Right.
You might say, like if I were to take your role, if you can just come here.
Sure.
So in those 30 seconds be frozen, you become the boss. So you have to
Okay.
act like,
Okay.
just mock it.
Yeah.
And if the facilitator taps on me and I say, well, I don't know, and you are all frozen.
Right.
So this is the second level of magnet structure. This is called thought tracking.
Okay.
So I'm only allowed to talk, and I will say, well, I feel foolish. I knew the mistake was mine, but I'm still fighting with my boss.
Right.
So I think I should give in.
Right.
And then I freeze again. And then I facilitator taps on your shoulder, and
So
you
how
might
do you
say
feel?
something as a
Right.
boss. How are you feeling?
I think I should not have done it the way I have done it.
Yeah.
So I feel, because I feel really guilty of behaving maybe silly.
Okay,
Right.
wonderful. So this is how you tap on people's shoulder,
Right.
and then there would be people, they work in groups
Absolutely.
outside the office. They would
Right.
realize how the other feels at certain point in time.
Right.
So you're also exploring the psychoanalysis of the person with a little fun and with drama.
Right.
So this is magnet structure that we do with kids and also with corporates, but 2 levels
It's a lot of
attached.
activity.
Yes, a lot of activities. The other ones we do is the gratitude and empathy in team bonding.
Wonderful.
So we have, in that we need only 2 people.
Right.
Between 2 people also we could do that.
Right.
So that's called the A and B sculptures game.
Okay.
So you become the A and I become the B.
Okay.
And the facilitator gives a tap.
Right.
He says or he says A.
Okay.
So A has to be in a freeze moment
Okay.
where he or she would have done something nice to B.
Okay.
So you have to think of a situation,
Okay.
and so let's say I become the A first to start
Okay,
with.
sure.
So let's say you gave me those flowers in the morning, and I
Right.
think of those incidents,
Okay.
and I would say,
Ah,
and
you're right.
yeah, and then when she says B, the B has to complement the act.
Okay.
So you might just hold the bouquet,
Okay. Okay.
and then A again. So I am receiving now the mithai from you,
Right.
and then when I say B, you have to just take the mithai and maybe just open it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're doing A and B gratitude game.
Right, right.
So every time you say A has to complement the B,
Right.
B complements the A again.
Right.
So in this again we're exploring a lot of dynamics.
Right.
One is of course we think of those moments where you have been kind to me,
Right.
or I have displayed empathy towards you.
Mhm.
B it also is exploring again acceptance.
Right.
So I am again also complimenting your action.
Right.
You're complimenting my action.
Mhm.
It's not like that you gave me a bouquet and I'm like,
It is very expressionless.
going there.
Right.
Yeah? So we
Right.
are accepting.
Right.
So similarly, we play another game called A and B corridors.
Okay.
So we make lines of people here, so
Mhm.
like 5 minimum and 5 here.
Mhm.
So again, if it's a team bonding exercise,
Mhm.
what we do is we ask the A's to
Mhm.
come with a character in mind.
Okay.
Let's say in offices, the theme is again team, and within team we talk about things like stress management
Right.
or conflict management.
Mhm.
So I come with a character and a situation in mind. So I come up and you are B, and I would say, oh God, I am so stressed, this report is just to be given. Now B has to give me accepting situation. You
Right.
can't negate what I'm saying.
Right.
So you might say, oh yes, I understand, but it was told to you, 2 weeks ago.
So one is okay. I think well, you should have done it yesterday. Maybe you should have told me yesterday. I could have helped, but I don't think I can do anything at the moment.
Oh, I understand you are so right, but I need to, I think, manage my time better.
Okay.
Yeah, so we only allow 3 sentences.
Right.
So
Okay.
A comes with a character situation,
Right.
B tries to be with the person,
Mhm.
give a empathy statement and a resolution, and A speaks again.
Right.
And then you go back. Then the
Right.
next 2 people come in,
Mhm.
then there is a statement, you give an empathy statement, and
Mhm.
then I speak. So there are 3 statements and you go back.
So in the conversation that we just had, in
Yes.
3 sentences.
Yes.
So what do you make out of it? For
Yes.
example, I said maybe because I don't know whether there is a tone of empathy there in the because
Yes.
I said you should have done yesterday. So
Yes.
therefore, actually, I don't connect. I don't share you.
Yes.
empathy.
So this is what is called side coaching in drama.
Okay.
That's where the coach comes in between, and it's called the side coaching. The coach, the facilitator, like me,
You
I would
observe.
come and say, okay, can you get a more better accepting statement,
Right,
Mr. Chaudhary? Would you like to come up with a better
Absolutely,
statement which
right.
goes with what Chetna is saying right now?
First we have to-
Be more accepting. So in drama, side coaching becomes very important
Right.
because you're constantly speaking the keywords.
Right.
Okay, acceptance-oriented word, empathy-oriented words.
Right.
Everybody, please make a point.
Mhm.
Would you like to rephrase again and say this to Chetna back again?
Exactly.
So you are also, so you maybe
Going with
you
the
as a
flow.
person you are very strong-headed. You saying you should have done it again. But the side coaching tells you, Dr. Chaudhary, more empathy and
right.
mistake.
Because that stays on my mind.
Yes,
Actually.
and then when you go back to your workplaces, the keywords side coaching keeps hitting your head the next time the situation happens.
Right.
So you're moving into an imaginative world,
Mhm.
but actually you are transporting the learnings to your real world.
Sure.
So side coaching is extremely important
Very, very
as a
important.
facilitator.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So these are some of the games that
So
we
I
play
think
together.
we have had some very interesting demonstration, and I'm sure you should try, because I think as she has said, it's a very interesting thing that can help us change our behavior. Now that we have seen the demonstration part of how dramatics, or I'm sorry, the drama can be used to change people's behavior because it gives an expression to their inner motives. Now let's get on to the next segment of the kind of challenges that you would have faced in bringing about this transformation. Because again, that might have happened across the spectrum of people, because people say that it's easy to bring transformation when you're young.
Oh.
And as you age, you become more sticky about your own behavior. And as you really getting into maybe Vanas Prasad, whatever you call it,
Yes.
call it, maybe 50 plus,
Mhm.
I mean, everything is stuck.
Yes.
So what has been your experience, Chetna, in terms of bringing
Yes.
about transformation? Definitely, ideally, you should bring good transformation at a young age so that they grow up to be wonderful citizens of this world and definitely of this country or the city that they belong to. And therefore, but there are people who have got initiated to this one, so therefore you definitely have a responsibility and also maybe a chance to make some behavioral change in some people who are like me, maybe 45 plus and things like that. So what has been your challenges in bringing about transformation?
Sure. So one is the name of it, drama. So
Right.
people would feel, dramebaz, huh? She would come and do some drama and go back.
Right.
So the whole, I think people think it's very frivolous by its nature of it. And the other thing is people attach drama with theatre. So these two are different things.
Right.
The approach or the process could be the same, but theatre deals with the end product, which is production. Drama might not lead to a production, it could be just an experience.
Right.
So that is another thing which I explain to people, that I do not teach you to become Shah Rukh Khans and Madhuri Dixit. I teach you to, I facilitate sessions to make you better human beings who can live everyday life with more grace and with more confidence and with more courage. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
Can this also be used as a stress buster?
Oh, beautifully. I mean, as I said, the lady who was training with me, and she said, I feel like playing now.
Right.
It is so beautiful.
So
It
as
is.
and when I just go out and just
Yes.
just freak out for myself.
Yes,
I
it
give-
is. It is. So, like I do a lot of weekend workshops for corporates, and which is just based on drama. We don't have chairs and tables. We ask them to sit, and it's great. They have a great lot of fun, and for some people, it's just a simple feedback that I had fun. Which in a normal day-to-day life they feel they need to present or dress up in a certain straitjacketed way. You can't move a little bone here and there. The body language has to be in a certain way. So it is a great fun. So coming back to the third challenge, what you just said is that yes, with age, I have seen
Very sticky
yes,
people.
and also gender at times.
Is it? Do you find
Yes,
that?
yes. Oh yes,
So
both.
who are
both.
more sticky? Is it women or men?
Women more.
Is it?
Yeah, surprisingly. I have
Very
seen men being more participative than women. So I don't know why, because I think drama has a lot to do with the physicalization of a process. Like what we just saw, we had to physicalize, we had to move, we had to show our bodies, we had to be more comfortable with our bodies.
Right.
And women sometimes feel a little not very happy with standing up and doing something because they are not very accepting.
Maybe
of their-
if I'm not mistaken, maybe they are worried about that. Will they be exposing their sensuality and things
Yes,
like that?
yes.
So
there is-
conscious about
they
their
are conscious.
physicality.
Yes.
Yes.
And also I think, I don't know, you would let me know more, because men are more detached in the way that they say, okay, done, now, okay, we played a game, I don't know however I performed, but let's move on. But the women will say, oh God, I would have just done that better, or was I sitting okay in the way I was
Right, very
performing?
conscious about
Yeah,
it.
so the thought keeps lingering on.
Okay.
So yes, I have seen women, especially like 40.
In fact, that's a good one.
Yes,
In fact,
yes.
I think if they have that emotional connect with what they've done, nothing like it, because
Yes.
that will either propel them to do better or they would have given up. Either way, but then if they are that thinking or that thought is
Yeah, in that way, yes.
Yes,
It's the other perspective to look
Very
at.
good.
But yes, also with age also it works. Like with children, it is, they would just come up to me in the classroom and say, shall we start? What's the warm-up for today? What is the theme? Can we play that A&B sculpture? Can we play the magnet structure? I think I will become the bathroom in the house today. So, okay. So, and with teenagers, again, it's a different challenge. With when you're adolescent, you have to be so gender sensitive, you have to be so emotion sensitive. With them, I talk a lot and then lead them to a drama activity. There is a lot of discussion which happens. So even if it's a small topic, like the other day we were talking about kindness. With small children, they know. Yesterday I gave one samosa to one boy. Now can I act that? I will tell you. Okay, but with adolescents and who are 18, 20, 21 years of age, you have to talk a lot. Okay, so what do you feel about generally society? How are people acting?
So,
Who's
Chetna,
who?
I think again I want to stop interrupt
Yeah.
here. Do you find in this adolescence the biggest problem, was there a bigger problem with respect to acceptability? I mean, they don't accept anything because they're in the process of discovering themselves. The children, yes, they are in the mode of accepting because everything is new.
Yes.
But these guys, when they have come to 1820 or maybe 1822, they are in the expert for themselves. So it's a self-discovery.
Oh.
But then most of the time they go the wrong way, because anything that is tough, anything that looks, because for them the socially not acceptable, for them the society is the immediate friend. They don't relate themselves to larger society.
Right.
So therefore, whatever is not acceptable in that small society is not acceptable for them.
That's correct.
So did you come across that kind
Yes,
of?
yes, I've had numerous instances. You're talking about 18. I've had a child in standard 9 in one of the schools that I coach. The first day I enter this class is where I don't take them into the drama hall. The first day I always talk to them, tell them about my own
Engage
self.
them.
Yeah, and we make rules of drama class where they make the rules.
Mhm.
Like normally every teacher will make a rule, no talking, and I would say talk.
Mhm.
So they get excited. Can we talk in this period?
Mhm.
And no homework.
Mhm.
Wow. So we make rules. So I had this boy when I entered standard 9, sitting at the stream entrance, like the left hand side, and I was telling them about my name and what I do and what is drama. They said it's acting, it's scripting.
Mhm.
So I said, yeah, maybe down the lane, but we will start with more of our own selves. So this boy just hunches and says, you know what, I don't like to talk to women. Are you going to be a coach forever? And this was the right expression he gave me. That's exactly, sitting like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be there for a year with you.
Mhm.
I don't talk to my mom too, I avoid her. I don't like to be coached by women. I said, really? Would you like to share an experience where you maybe had an experience where you were coached by women, you didn't get good marks, or somebody scolded you, or you were not accepted? Let's leave it. So I also left it because there was a group listening to him. This next 3-4 sessions when we were talking about team dynamics, we talked about bullying as a part. So then he said, I want to talk about something. I said, yes. When I was in standard 4th, there was a girl who every time used to steal my pens. And when I complained about her, she got her dad, and her dad really scolded me, after school. And he threatened me, the dad. And since that time, I don't like girls and women. So I think that was a great bully incident I had. And I think it's better to stay away from women than just listen to them.
Right.
So I said, yeah, okay, yeah. But that boy is now part of my anti-bullying campaign.
Very good.
He's making a skit,
Right.
but though it's a very dark script, very violent script, but he says, I want to be a part of the bullying campaign. So we've had resistance, people do resist, children resist.
But that, according to you, is the right way of transformation.
Yes.
He's come from this end of the horizon to the other end.
Yes.
It's very good.
Yes,
So I
yes,
think
yes.
this would have helped him to self-discover himself.
Yes,
Very
yes,
good.
yes, yes. It does, and because there is no, sometimes just talking across the table is like, I don't want to talk, okay, what do you want me to know, I don't like women.
Right.
But during this process where they're listening to peers, there's an act happening, and the whole gush of sharing, he also said, I want to share.
He doesn't want to be left out.
Yes.
Right?
So I think drama, as I said, creates a lot of safe spaces for people to speak their minds.
Right.
So and this is the beauty of drama. And it's numerous incidents where people have spoken to me, adults. But then yes, coming back to the age that you were asking, the people do get a little reluctant initially, because as I said, it requires physicalization. You can't really just sit. When I ask you to do a warm-up and with the music, move a bit, so people who would do this and they would be a little reluctant.
Right.
Yeah, and then gradually when they see, oh God, it's everybody's doing it. We all are looking foolish, whatever. I mean, I'm enjoying it. So they accept it and they go with the will.
So I think one of the interesting things that I find in you is that you're also a dancer.
Yes.
Right? I think you're a trained Kathak dancer.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
So how do you mingle that one with this form of learning, or let's say training part of it?
Sure.
How do you do that?
Yeah, so I have been trained by Dr. Seema Negi. She was my trainer in Dehradun. And now, as I said, I include a lot of dance in my storytelling. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be a part of Global Youth Forum Dialogue Series.
Okay.
And it's for the youth. And the topic is love, failure, and after that. So I have created a dance piece on my own life and my how I went through my love to dance, love towards dance and theatre, and how I failed when my father did not allow me to be a dancer and a theatre artist.
Okay.
And after that,
Okay.
so I have come back, and now so whatever passion you have, somewhere it'll keep knocking you.
Exactly.
And if you must go and accept
It
that.
eats you up.
It eats you. And now that I have it, I feel so liberated. It's on my Facebook, my photographs, the way work I do, with the kids I am, the adults, I feel liberated.
Right.
So I create dance pieces. Like another work that I'm working on is the life story of Draupadi and Sita.
Oh.
So I'm going to create a life story and put it as a form of leadership in women in the corporates.
Very good.
So I'm going to enact that, and through that have a special session on next Women's Day for discovering the feminine leadership in the corporate world.
Right.
So that's how Draupadi and Sita were women. They both had their challenges, but if you see, there is also a difference in the way they handled.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
very, very strong-headed women, if you see.
Absolutely.
But they had great leadership in them.
Absolutely.
Sita denied the second time she was asked to walk the fire. She said, I would rather submit to my mother earth. That was great decision-making capability. She stood for herself. And Draupadi, she said, I would stick to 5 husbands because at the end, I know the objective.
Right.
It's not, I'm not playing games. I know that these brothers don't stick together. And the women are the only ones who would, if they marry different women, everything will fall apart.
Right.
So she knew what she was doing.
Right.
So
Fantastic.
that's what I'm trying to create a dance piece on.
Right.
And through storytelling, evoke those moments and experiences in women in the
That's
audience.
wonderful. So in all these years of experience, so what have you let me put it this way for want of any other word, the highs and lows of this one. You must have seen
Yeah.
it, different
Yes.
places, and different audience, different ages, different gender. You have seen when you're completely in love with it. Yeah, it's really wonderful. But there may been instances which I've actually started questioning, am I doing the right thing? Because somebody would have reacted to you the way that you didn't expect. Or for example, this kid. But of course, you've come out, then you actually turn it around from this end of the spectrum to this end. So what were one or two of those incidents where you felt, yeah, I think I was able to make the transformation, and then could have been some instance where you tried your best, but then it didn't happen the way you wanted.
Yes. So there were instances, I think it happened, one of them was like a month ago, where I was asked to conduct a session on self-image. And I wanted to use this form of learning. And the person who was coordinating the training told me straight away, don't write in your profile that you do drama and all. Huh? Don't write it. Drama and all doesn't work with corporates. Just say that you are a consultant and you want people's appearance and behavior, and that should be all. So I told him, I said, why don't you let me speak to the client and explain how it works? He says, no, drama is not like when we want to do the fun stuff now, Women's Day, then you do drama. But for a well-paid, good session, the client will not like, don't ever use this, you are a drama facilitator. So I said, all right, so let me at least go for the initial meeting. So I went, and we had the senior leadership position of the HR and the OD, the development, yes, the personnel sitting there. And I did not speak that I'm a drama consultant. But then they started asking me, what else do you do, how do you approach? So I spoke about my schoolwork, and so they got pretty excited. They said, are you sure this one-to-one sitting down consultation will work? Would you like to vacate the room and do something what you do with the children? And I was looking at the other person, and he was like, no, but I think, this will be more fruitful. But then I think the OD person had witnessed a session like that back in the USFA where he worked. And he said, no, I think we must give it that a try. I think this is more experiential. So cases like these even happen now with me, where people resist, they don't understand, they feel it is...
Very myopic.
Yes. But then there are people who the universe creates
Come
them
back
for
to
me.
what we use, the progressive.
Yes, the
Right.
progressive.
I think,
So yes, that happened, and then I did the session with them
Very good.
last month, and it was great. In fact, 26th I'm doing another session with them to physical theatre, how do you explore body language?
Right.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting piece, and they are doing it for doctors.
Oh, it's even more interesting.
Yes. Yes, for doctors.
Because they don't have to express anything.
Yes.
In fact, they're just to be, in fact, emotionless. They're supposed to be.
Yes, but then I feel at times when I my own experience with those dermatologists and the other doctors, I feel at times you need to have that connect with your patient.
Absolutely.
You can't just say, listen, your skin looks atrocious, and I know you have to be that objective, but I think it's very important for them to be more.
I think at the time of diagnosing, in your consultation phase, yes, I think what you said is very
Yes.
true. But I think when it comes to
Prognosis
surgeries,
and surgeries, yes.
actual surgery, I think you're.
Then you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
protect it.
But I think initially to get people relaxed, even if you, because we have seen some finest doctors, and that's why people believe in the heat of touch.
Ha.
And
It's
these
touch
people-
therapy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I've seen it. I mean, wonderful. So I think now, what are your plans to take it to next level?
Sure. So I have been thinking about it.
Because
quite,
something, if,
yes.
don't get me wrong,
Sure.
I think it's so personal that it cannot be scaled.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yes.
everywhere Chetna has to be there.
Yes, yes.
That's a big
yes,
problem.
Yes.
And you will train people, for example, if there's somebody like me or somebody like, maybe 10 people get trained. But then the biggest problem is not just the art form of it, the people who are a period of time there, but the most important thing, like people say, that is the
Yes.
passion.
Yes.
The
Yes.
spirit. And like people say, attitude is the software and
Mm.
behavior is the hardware.
Mm.
What you see is the behavior. But what
Belief is
problem is
inside.
that behavior is the attitude.
Yes.
Now, the way our behavior should. So it depends on the way it is internally, like you rightly said, wired.
Yes.
So what are your plans to make it so that many people can be benefited?
Yes.
It's not just Bombay, it's not about those few kids, not those few mothers and things like that. So how do you want to take it out? So
Yes, yes. So I would probably start my answer with what you just said. Is I was so skeptical of not training people because my friends used to ask me, why don't you just, you've got so much to, you can explore, you can move out of Bombay, do it outside the country, and we support your friends in the USFA. And I said, I cannot find another Chetna. There has to be another Chetna with the same passion. Only then will I give my skills and knowledge. I'm okay to give that, but I need to find that streak in the person who has that fire and say, let's do this in this way today.
Right.
Chetna, forget about your method. Let's do it in this way. That's the day when I love that person.
Mhm.
So I was waiting, and then you know what? Opportunities used to come to me, and I used to only deny those opportunities because I could not have been present in two places at the same time.
Absolutely.
So when the school offers came to me, where I had to be with the school for a year, and plus there were other corporate work also happening, then I thought this is a time when I need more people. So I have had I have a team of people now
Oh.
who are trained in drama as a course and therapy, and intensive training. If you go and ask them how I am as a trainer, they're like, okay. Now, so they train at schools.
Right.
They are my team, and they go and train. And my, as you just said, like I also follow what Devdutt Patnaik says, that belief leads to behavior and behavior leads to business.
Absolutely.
So that belief, and also I am honestly very picky about the people I train. I follow them a lot, and what are they doing in their lives? Why would they want to join drama? Is it just to say that I'm a drama trainer? So I follow their lives very carefully for a few months. Like the people I've trained, I know them for almost 2 years, 3 years. So I have followed them in the way, why are they trying to learn this drama? What are they going to do after that? Even if not with me, after that. So I've trained these for 5 people, and they look at my work at schools and colleges. Well, I train at corporates, and going further, my practical and pragmatic vision is to get into something called as drama therapy as a subject, and take it to management colleges like IIMs
Right.
and IITs, especially IITs too, because there you need a lot of sensuality and expression. Then lot of schools. Because I think if we focus on these management institutes, colleges and schools, next 20 years will be a different society. If we,
I think at that age,
yes,
then you
yes,
can,
yes.
yeah.
So this is my plan, and now I'm more open to training people,
Right.
but training people with the right passion.
Right.
If they should have, with the money, they should have this passion for social reform, getting something.
Yeah, I think more than social, I think at least they transform themselves. They
Yes,
cannot do anything.
there has to be a personal transformation. So I want to do that, and I also want to create a movement therapy school where I also train people through dance and movement therapy. So to do people more, especially women, through
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, so they have to be more accepting with their
Right.
bodies, with their emotions,
Right.
and explore a part of themselves, apart from being a mother or wife
Right.
or a businesswoman.
Right.
So that movement therapy, especially I want to dedicate to women
Right.
who want to
They can
explore themselves. And
Absolutely.
the other one is exploring drama as a therapy later.
Absolutely. So I think from all of us, from ET cases, we really wish you go to places and make the
Yes.
difference and continue this wonderful journey. And in whatever way we can be part of it, will be a pleasure to be part of this journey.
Agreed.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me
Thanks.
today.
Thank you
It was
so
a
much.
pleasure talking to you, and I had, while you asked the questions, it triggered a lot of emotions in me.
Great, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.